Okay. All right, go ahead. So, my position has always been, and I've said this for years, that America does not care about mental health, and like, because if they did, a lot of shit would change. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the imagery that we see would change. There would actually be institutions to accommodate people who have mental health issues, in which they are. I'm not saying that they don't exist, but they're not to the point where it's actually benefiting people in a way that society will, accommodate towards that. So I feel like when it comes to mental health, it's kind of like something that people kind of, have to battle themselves. Like there's here's one thing that I kind of respect about other countries outside of America is that they at least they know their people. You know what I'm saying? Like if you went to a country like Japan and someone's suffering from mental health, like because it's a homogenous society, you could get help from that, or there'll be certain images that you see that can help you get through it. And obviously, like there's a suicide issue in Japan and shit like that, but at least they know how their people operate. They know how their people work. But like in America, we're a melting pot. We're not as homogenous as Japan. So when people are suffering through mental health, it's kind of like, who do you go for help? Do you go on social media? Well, that could be a slippery slope. Do you call that hotline that people put all over social media whenever a tragedy happens, where you got to wait in a queue sometimes, and by that time it might be too late? Or do you risk yourself opening up to somebody that could potentially undermine your issue in the first place? So there's a lot of factors to it. And I'm someone, like, I used to suffer from major, major, major depression. And in 2012 and in 2013, I managed to overcome that depression, and I haven't had a depressive episode since. So when it comes to mental health, I've been through like some pretty, pretty, pretty dark times, but I had to, like, my approach was way different because like I basically did my own therapy. But for a lot of people, like, to get to therapy in the first place might be an issue because maybe they don't have the money, or maybe the therapists that they get don't really understand their issue. This is especially true for Black people who don't get Black therapists, or who don't get therapists that understand their struggle and certain shit like that. We are as a society in America, we tend to focus on very negative shit all the fucking time. So if somebody's already suffering through mental health, like look at 2020. 2020 was horrible for people with mental health. People who have anxiety, people who's probably depressed, people who's probably bipolar. It's a really, really, really tough time. The economy is shit. We have a president that's incompetent. You know what I'm saying? Like no one is really, jobs have been closed down. Like it's really, really been tough. It's been tough for people with mental health. But instead of focusing on that aspect of society, what we want to do is we want to adopt that pull yourself up by your bootstraps mentality, and everybody got to fend for themselves during a pandemic. While in China and in other places, they're literally passing out food for free. They're giving money to the people, like they really helping their people out. But when it come to us, it just seemed like everything, like to help the average citizen in America, always got to be a fight. And we have people out here that are actually struggling with shit. We got people out here that actually do go through mental health. And especially in the Black community, where we have suffered over 500 years of oppression, both invert, no, not both invert, both overt and subvert. Like a lot of shit has been internalized by the Black community that is not to our benefit in any way whatsoever. We have inherited a lot of shit. As Dr. Khalid Muhammad said, we tend to inherit the characteristics of our oppressors because we've been oppressed in this land so long. So when you put that into aspect, and then I started reading and I started watching. There's a video on YouTube called Post Traumatic Slavery Syndrome, and Dr. Joy, she breaks down everything. You know what I'm saying, from why we do things a certain way, or how we came to adopt certain behaviors that we wasn't doing before we were kidnapped and brought to America as slaves. So when it comes to the mental health aspect in the Black community, I do feel so. one thing I feel like we know what it is, but we don't really have the wherewithal to fix it because number one, the medical racism in America, which a lot of people kind of which a lot of people kind of don't talk about, you know what I'm saying? And then also another aspect is a lot of black people just don't have the resources to get the help that they need. You know what I'm saying? Like it's akin to people talking about food deserts in the hood and shit like that, or young boys getting, seeing people die, seeing their close friends die and shit, and then the society doesn't help either by making sure that the boys in society don't have that emotional intelligence to open up about their problems. They internalize that shit. One small thing happens and then they shooting a brother because he stepped on his shoe or whatever. A lot of this shit, like a lot of this shit is, I feel like it's engineered almost because we're a society, we're such a pull yourself up by your bootstraps type of society. And then when you have a people that's been oppressed as long as us, that can kind of transform itself into this kind of like barrier in which we don't really try to understand each other, whether it be because we're richer than somebody or, we're in a better house than somebody and certain shit like that. So when it comes to mental health in the black community, I do see that people are having these conversations. More black people are getting into psychology and wanting to be doctors to help out people with mental health issues and shit like that, because this is a problem that we kind of need to fix ourselves within our own community in house. We can't really expect anyone else outside of our community to fix that for us because our problems are unique. And that's pretty much all I got to say.
Any last words before we move on to our final thoughts? All right, with that being said, we're gonna get into our final thoughts, and we're gonna start with Dion since he's still in the car.
Well, no, well, I was waiting on a bus. I'm actually walking up to my building now. Just kind of made it home. But I wanna touch on something I mentioned last week. The case of Albert Wilson. Short summary, like I said, young brother in Kansas who was falsely accused of rape. Clearly, all the evidence points to the fact that he did nothing to the woman in question, but was still found guilty by an all-white jury and sentenced to, I believe, was 12 years in prison. But I do have good news about that situation. The case has been reopened and is due to go to trial again. So, praying for this young man to, you know, get out of that situation. He gets the justice he deserves, and
I think Dion got cut off. Tony, you got any final words?
hello.
Hello. Oh, go ahead, Dion.
Anybody?
All right.
Dion, you
Okay,
there?
there I am. Did I cut out a moment ago?
Yes, you did.
Okay, because I just walked into my apartment and my phone was switching to from the was switching on to my Wi-Fi. But where did I cut off at?
That the boy was getting his case reopened, and you was hoping that he get justice.
Oh, well, then I cut off at like the very end of my statement. Then I'm done.
Okay, Tony, you got any final words? Tony, you there? Q, you got any final words?
Uh, not. I mean, let's see. Uh, I have to go and rewatch the battle before I can make my rant that I promised you all. I want to make sure this is right. So I'm in my 2020 election mode. So I got to retally the tallied marks to make sure I count every bar correctly. But But before I hang up, I think I might be saying Murder Mook won. So
And- so you saw the battle.
yeah, I saw the battle. I gotta rewatch it. I think Murder Mook
Uh,
might have won.
all righty then. um,
I don't know yet. I don't know yet. I might gotta go back and rewatch it again. But yeah, Jerry Jones just tear down the Cowboys and build me some new Cowboys because we ain't playing football right this year. Uh, yeah, and then shout out to Javante Davis for helping me win $40 because the way you put that boy on ice, it was a sad day for him. But yeah, that's my take.
all right, father.
So, for my last word, I want to give a shout out to the people that blocked me during this whole election campaign on Twitter. You guys are the weakest links of the black community because you have failed consistently to prove your point in a way that would benefit us with tangibles or anything of the sort. These type of Negroes are the type to get on Twitter and to say nonsensical shit about black men or whatever type of demographic they can throw under the bus to devoid themselves of any type of accountability for their shortcomings and the fact that they have no solutions to our problems whatsoever. It's always the blame black men this or we need to do better or that and all this other shit. And then you come to find out, okay, so how do we fix the problems that we have right now? They either go into blocking you or they go into this tirade and start projecting shit on you that you don't even really do in the first place. For example, I had some coon on Twitter try to tell me, well, if black men just stop beating up black women, then maybe we be. And I'm just like, bruh. First of all, that wasn't even the topic of conversation. We're talking about the election. You sitting there talking about domestic violence. Second of all, the very fact that you even brought that shit up means that you have no solution whatsoever for domestic violence. So unless you have anything to quantify what you're saying in the first place, then I suggest you shut the fuck up. I got blocked. There was another one that tried to tell me that, well, Asada Shakur left the Panthers because the Panthers were so patriarchal. And I'm like, first of all, she left the Panthers because the Panthers were compromised by the FBI and she joined another black liberation group. Then the situation with the officer happened. She got arrested. She got sentenced. And, the black liberation group she was in, that was composed of former Black Panther members themselves broke her out of jail, and she escaped to reach asylum in Cuba, and to this day, where she still resides. I broke that shit down respectfully. She blocked me. So, in conclusion, if you got something to say, make sure you can actually back up the shit that you say, because I will come for you and I will get on that ass. And if you feel like you don't have the if you feel like you don't have the reach to box with God, Father himself, then I suggest you shut the fuck up and let the adults do the fucking work. Thank you.
I
I
will find. I will find you, and I will kill you.
Father, hey father, I told you you have to dumb shit down. This is 2020. We have to speak in Donald Trump language until he gets.
Nah, I'm in the words of Lupe Fiasco, Bishop G. They told me I should dumb down, cousin, but I flatly refuse. I ain't dumb down nothing. So you gotta learn these niggas. I understand what you're saying, though, Q. Like,
Yeah,
so,
like sometimes it's not even worth even going into detail about something that nobody they don't want to hear that. The argument isn't about who's right and who's wrong. It's about who's louder. I can say this louder than you can. Stupidity. I don't even go back and forth with anybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm more in the, I'm in the Prince form. Prince always just cut his eyes somebody. You always get the camera when you every award show, you always cut that camera to Prince, and Prince is always cutting his eyes. Somebody he don't like every single time. I'm in that mode now.
See, I understand. See, I understand that, Q. But you got to understand, I'm a West African of two tribes. I'm a warrior. I don't do that. Cut. I'm confrontational as shit. I will get in your face and tell you exactly what I feel. As a matter of fact, no, I'm not going to tell you how I feel. I'm going to tell you the truth because the truth is what is going to set our people free. But these
Yeah.
motherfuckers live in lies, and these motherfuckers want to perpetuate false narratives all motherfucking day and not be devoid of any accountability. And I'm here to say that in this internet that we share with each other, I'm not going to let that shit fly because your rhetoric actually resembles the rhetoric of white supremacists in the 50s and 60s. So if you are going to sit there and continue to perpetuate this lie that black men do not hold themselves accountable or that black men are the weakest link of the black community, I will get in that ass and I will correct you and I will make you beg for mercy on this motherfucking app. I've done it so many times. I've been blocked by over 180 people today thus far.
And counting.
This is why.
And counting.
This is why you fight with Donkey Kong and I fight with Mario. It's just two different fighting styles. Either way, you're gonna lose. Just leave us alone, please. We're trying to be nice. We're just trying to be nice.
I mean, I'm nice unless you're stupid.
Shout out to Bowser and his Dolph Ziggler.
Hey, hey, shout out to Luigi and his uppercuts, man.
Oh
Somehow,
my god.
I'm sorry. My bad. My bad.
Oh man, I love it. I'm the one doing it.
I know you love it. I'm
Shit.
talking about everybody else.
We making Smash Brothers references now.
Oh,
Oh my god.
shout out to Kiki Palmer kissing a white boy and giving us entertainment for Twitter for a few seconds. But I do want to say
Huh?
we
Ooh, he cutting out.
Yeah,
yo,
bad.
you was joking.
Ooh.
Am I cutting out?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
were
are.
cutting out. You might want to repeat what you just said.
Okay.
Just
Coming
don't
in.
repeat Kiki
Yeah,
Palmer
yeah,
again.
yeah. I can hear you now, but you was cutting out.
I said shout out to Kiki Palmer kissing a white man, but black and giving us entertainment on Twitter. First of all, that was a sloppy ass drunk kiss. That shit. She looked like she was just fine. I'd do it. But also, I just want black women to know that any jokes that you saw on Twitter, we was just joking. Anytime you saw Umar out there, them black men was joking. There's no need to turn that into a gender war, like I saw some of you black women do. It was no need for that. I understand that black women are most disrespected, but sometimes I do feel like there are times we can laugh at ourselves. Like like that what Kiki Palmer got on Twitter is nowhere near Harvey gets on occasion. Is nowhere near where who else? Tory Lanes get dragged. Like if I could tell you the top 10
Tory Lanez
dragging,
deserves it though, so fuck
I'm
him.
yeah, no, he deserves it. But if I'm telling you, like, if Twitter, like, we had our top 10 dragons, she's not. Kiki Palmer's nowhere near it. That's what I'm saying. Like, you have your Bill Cosby's, your R. Kelly's, your Tory Lanes, your
Lil
Steve
Mama.
Harvey's,
Lil Mama.
Lil Mama,
She gets dragged like
Carrie
it was an
Hilson,
Albuquerque. I love Lil
Carrie
Mama. She's so
Hilson, and
beautiful to me. We gotta stop
Carrie
like
Hilson is still nursing her wounds.
yeah, because she went after the Beehive. Carrie Hill, like, and they handled that. And
yeah.
be
Yeah, that
mindful,
was
I said like 5 or 6
bad.
dudes' name before I said a
Jay-Z
female's
and
name.
Jay-Z and his weird knees.
Jay-Z and
Ah,
his weird knees. Who else? Steve, like I said, Steve Harvey probably number one, maybe. I
Nah,
would give
no,
Steve Harvey the number one spot.
number one.
Is or Azalea Banks, because Azalea Banks, she do get the dragon, but she deserve it. Who else?
Nah,
Lizzo.
but see, the difference is
Lizzo when she
Azalea.
do something stupid. Lizzo when she do
I,
something stupid.
I think Azalea drags, so she gets dragged. So it kind of is like it's like an offsetting penalty. Like either way, it's not going to go nowhere. So it's like I don't think she deserves to be top dragged. I'm talking about somebody who gets abused on a daily basis, and it's just like bad. Like,
Chris Brown.
Tell
no, like
me, okay. To that, let me say this. Tell me someone who gets the abuse who doesn't deserve it. Because everyone we've named so far, yeah, they get shat upon a lot throughout social media, but
Ice
they do
Cube.
shit to put
I
themselves in
think
a
I think
situations.
I
personally,
mean, it's Twitter because
personally,
I've always said like the thing about Twitter, and I break it down to simple: if you do good, you get praised. If you do bad, you get dragged.
can I be
So
honest?
it's just like a
That was
Lizzo at the Lakers game. All right, she
that was
deserved
bad.
that.
That was
I
bad.
don't know anybody that got dragged that didn't deserve it. Maybe Ice Cube because I see a lot of people calling him a coon.
And Lil
And
Wayne.
like that, I don't know. That personally bothers me because y'all
And
don't
Lil
really know
Wayne.
your hip hop.
And
Y'all don't know
and
your
Lil
hip hop, and y'all don't know like how many times this man has been around
Right.
the minister, Minister Farrakhan, and how
Like
many
we
times
like
he
niggas
like
just completely forgot about fuck the police, but okay.
I'm
and like and
my
all of
whole
his
thing
albums,
is
like America's
my
Most
whole
Wanted with
thing
three
is
Ks.
let's
Like, what
not
he be
even
talking
my whole
about?
thing is
White supremacy. My bad. Go ahead, Q.
my whole thing is as a black community, why does somebody's political beliefs matter in the sense of if they think that they benefit them as a person, we should be happy that somebody is willing to expand their political beliefs. Donald Trump might have said something that made them, you don't know the conversation. You don't know what was said in those things. So why are we dragging people? You don't know if Ice Cube went in there and made some demands. Look, if you want these people to vote, this is what you have to do. You know how Ice Cube talk with the straight face and don't smile. He probably took the glasses off, rose his eyebrow, and then made the little dog face. The like he's growling, but he's not really growling. You know the face he makes
Hey,
that
that
makes
him.
him.
that what the fuck did you just say face? Like
Yeah, when he raised the lip and shit, he probably made that face at him. You don't know these conversations. You don't know what Lil Wayne went in there and talked about. You don't know what none of these black people are going there and talk about. We should be happy that somebody is willing to go in there to try to say something to him without making us look bad. Like let's be glad it's not somebody ignorant trying to go talk to the man and making us look as bad as he tries to make us look. Like we got people going in there actually having legitimate conversations, are trying to speak their piece and help Donald Trump understand where we're coming from instead of trying to be ignorant and trying to prove him right. Like, why can't we look at the positives in these situations? Like, it's always a negative response to certain things if we don't believe. Okay, everybody in here doesn't. We don't all like the same shit. We all
right.
everybody in this podcast, we do not agree on everything. But I'm not going to stop talking to Ray because he believes something that I don't believe.
Facts.
It's just that simple. But at us as a black community, we have the tendency to do this so much, where it's like we don't have to worry about white people just separating us. We're separating ourselves regardless. Like it's stupid. It's very dumb. It's dumb. We have the right to our own political beliefs, any type of beliefs, whether whether you're a Christian, a Muslim, a Buddhist. It doesn't matter. I really don't give a fuck if you're on this earth to praise and do and believe in whoever you want to believe in and walk righteously in what however you feel like it is. As long as it's benefiting us as a community, I don't care what direction it's coming from. I don't care where it comes from. As long as it's coming back here, I'm fine. The people I have a problem with are the ones who turn their back on us. But we cannot label everybody who makes that step as coons. Ice Cube will never in his fucking life be a coon. That's the last person that you will ever have to worry about. Okay? People forget Lil Wayne called out Al Sharpton for being a fake ass political office, like for being bullshit. We don't know what the fuck are these people's like like we don't know what their directions are going. So we got to stop. We have to come together. I love everybody in this podcast because we all have different beliefs. We have all different, what I'm saying, backgrounds. We have different mindsets, but they always come together for some fucking reason. So it's like we don't listen to Dion about wrestling, but He talks
Really?
about it. I'm sorry. We know. We love Dion. Dion is a genius, but when it comes to wrestling, we don't listen to him. That
Yeah,
doesn't,
you.
it doesn't mean we don't love him.
Right down the middle. Right down the middle, Q. Just
Yeah, I'm just
right
saying,
down.
like we love him. We just disregard his wrestling, comments. So it was just like, but just when it all, I mean, all the bullshit aside, we have to start appreciating us being able to expand and express our beliefs instead of being bottled in and following the next man. We're not supposed to be followers, we're supposed to be leaders. So we have to be good. Oh, and shout out to the NBA for approving the 72 game season that starts on December 22nd. It just came in.
Already?
Yep.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah. They're gonna be back at it.
Sad.
They're gonna be back at it.
Yes. Like we never left.
Well, shit. That ain't long from now. Shit.
Yeah, this is next month.
That's next month. That's literally Christmas. That's
Hey,
Christmas.
Enjoy your
man.
Christmas, nigga.
Yeah, no bullshit. You know I will.
I'm
That's
cool with the
LeBron game
NBA.
back in effect. Year 18. That's LeBron game.
No
The
bullshit.
NBA is cool, but it's just the NFL I don't fuck with.
I don't fuck with my team right now. As
Man,
Q
fuck the
said earlier,
Cowboys.
it's just, we
Fuck.
better not pick our first thing, we better not pick a fucking quarterback in the fucking draft. I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna be seriously mad if we pick a quarterback in the draft.
Fuck the Cowboys. If we don't get a defensive back, I don't want to see shit next year.
Shit. The
And
Giants need a quarterback.
I don't even think Andy Dalton has
Fuck.
COVID. I just think he just didn't want to play. So, fuck it.
Shit.
No,
The
I don't even
Giants need to
think
get rid
that.
of their
I don't
quarterback.
think
Cause
anybody else
goddamn.
wants to play. I think we're in a situation where nobody wants to play football anymore because Dak Prescott is the shit
Yeah.
in the
And
world.
as far as the Giants, it's not the quarterback, it's your offensive line. Y'all don't have an offensive line. That's why
It's
he ain't
both.
ready for his
Hey,
fucking
It's
life.
one thing I
both.
can say about the Giants,
Let's be
y'all
completely
have a
real
nice
about the
football
Giants.
team.
It's both. The
No,
offensive line is some shit. The quarterback is some shit.
I
Now,
can't
Daniel,
throw the
The
ball.
Daniel
offense in
is
it
pretty good.
entirely needs to be revamped. No,
Hey,
no.
can I tell you something? Can I tell
I
you
No.
something?
cannot throw the
Hey,
I've
ball
watched
if I
it.
don't have
I've
time
Dion,
in
watched
the
him make
pocket.
Dion, listen to this. How
what?
about this?
What?
How about this? Daniel Jones's ability as a quarterback is slightly better than Eli Manning, and look what the fuck you got.
The nigga can run for 80 yards and trip.
And Trip, Eli,
Yeah.
Eli, Eli, Eli
Yeah. I
wouldn't
don't give a
run
fuck.
8 yards.
Whatever.
Eli threw a football and ducked and turned his head, hoping to God somebody caught it. Like that's what Eli Manning did, and won you a Super Bowl. He won you a Super Bowl off that.
He's 1-2.
Yeah, exactly. And he's only beaten Tom Brady. He's only gotten lucky twice in his life. Okay, so you got Daniel Jones, who's like, if we talking about mechanics, we talking about quarterback ability. I don't see Daniel Jones throwing 23 touchdowns and 23 picks. I'm sorry, I don't.
Well,
I don't know what to do
yeah.
with it.
So far, I ain't been impressed by the guy. I don't give a fuck.
Anybody in the NFC East, no one is impressed by anybody in the NFC
I'm
East.
not even impressed by the NFC East. Period. Just that as a
Yeah.
division. That as a division
Yeah.
should still be a
Throw the whole
preseason
division
That
game.
is
away.
I know, like
When the best team in your division, when the best team in the division is a team that ain't even got a fucking name,
no, they're
Yeah, that's
not
the
the best
problem.
team in the division.
They're not the best team in the division.
did someone take them all off of that because they were from what I saw, I've missed a couple of games. So from what I saw, like they were poised to actually be the best team at some point.
Nah,
But
the Eagles are winning.
mm,
It's the Eagles because they beat us.
Yeah. And
How
I'm
the
not even
fuck?
I don't even watch NFC East games no more. I'm an unofficial Kansas City Chief fan until the season is over.
It's free real estate.
I just
Like I just feel like I just feel like I have the option to go. I've been loyal to the Cowboys for years, I feel like I have the option to go be a Patty Mahomes fan right now.
I'm a DK Metcalf fan.
Young, he is the A. He
I'm about to
is
switch
T,
to the
he is
Ravens.
T.O. He is
I'm about to switch to the
T.O.
Ravens.
He is T.O.
Is dog. You
People
call him
keep saying
T.O.? Everybody
people keep
keeps saying Megatron. You call him
no,
T.O.?
no, no. You cannot call nobody Megatron until you have two people pressing you at the line. I don't give a fuck who you think you are. If you don't have two cornerbacks pressing you at the same time at the line of scrimmage, you are not Megatron. Okay.
That
Yo,
was specific.
so what do you think about him chasing down that cornerback?
That's yeah, that's just crazy. That was oh my god, he's a man child. Like he's a man amongst boys. Like he is the perfect receiver for fucking Russell Wilson. And I feel like I wish he would have played when like Cam Chancellor would have been there because I would have loved to see their practice. Like to see Cam Chancellor trying to hit that man, that would have been a great sight.
I see what you mean. Yo, but yeah, I'm with Q right here. If we do not pick up a motherfucking defensive back, like I swear to God, Jerry Jones, we fighting. We fight.
Because I like Trayvon Diggs. I like Trayvon Diggs as a
He's like
corner.
the best part of what's been going on this season.
Yeah, like he has CD Lamb has made CD Lamb has he has shown me that he can be an option on my Cowboys team. We just need Dak Prescott to get back. We need the offensive line to get healthy. We need to get them going because when Dak Prescott was on the field, we averaged about 28 points a game. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like we wasn't getting the ball down the field. Dak Prescott clearly proved he's a top 10 quarterback regardless of whatever. That he all he did was prove that now, Jerry Jones, the ball is in your court. You need to re-sign this man, and you need to build a defense around him because clearly he's going to take this offense as far as you allow him to do it. Because he is capable. He led the league in passing yards before he dislocated his ankle.
Yeah, I was about to say he's been there for
Mm.
3 weeks and he's still considered the best quarterback in the NFC East.
Like
That's saying
and, and to
something.
be and to be frank, not until like last week he was still like top 10 in passing yards until like last week after last week's game. Like he was still after missing 2 games, he was still top 10 in in passing yards. So that tell you he was ready to dust the waters. We couldn't stop a running sink.
You're
We
right.
could
Also, Zeke, get it together. Get
hey,
it
hey,
together.
hey Zeke, take the nose ring out. You need to cut that. You need to cut that extra shit off and get back to your old fade days and start running that rock like you was like when you first got here. Cause you didn't got here, your hair didn't grew out. You look like a Uso now. I'm not liking this shit.
Oh God.
You look like one of the Usos. You look like a bulldog mixed with a Uso. I need you to stop it. I need you to get back in your rare form and start running these people over. Like you went, like you still hungry. You got paid, now you just chilling. See, I hate motherfuckers. You are the reason why Dak Prescott can't get paid.
Ouch.
Yeah, okay. So since I said that, you need to go make it look good now. Make the fuck like
Ouch.
you are the reason Jerry Jones is adamant on not trying to pay Dak Prescott what he deserves because he doesn't think Dak Prescott could do it because he paid a running back who won't run for shit now.
Right.
And then he paid a defensive lineman who won't even touch the quarterback. Like like Jerry Jones is smacking himself in the face. Why? I could tell you exactly why. Because he allowed people like fucking Byron Jones to go the fuck away. To keep the Demarcus Lawrence and fucking Awuzie and Xavier fucking Woods. He went to sign fucking Clinton Dix to get rid of him before the fucking season started.
And I'm not even a fan of how Clinton Dix.
Like, come on, bruh. Like, you want to talk about like we look terrible. Everest Griffin, you went bargain shopping for these niggas, and these niggas ain't do shit. You keep trying to go to the thrift store to get that shit that got the badass thread shit going on with the shirts, man. Yeah, it's a Fendi shirt, but the thread is bad. That shit gonna come out. Take your ass to Fendi because you got Fendi money and go get somebody with some fucking production that's gonna ball. You should have went and got Jamal Adams when he was ready to come. God damn! Like I need to go ahead. I need to go ahead and call this man Jerry Jones. I ain't called him in some years. I've been letting him do his thing, and he not getting it done. So I feel like I need to get on my
Oh
Batman
God.
phone and go ahead and call this man.
All right. While you do that, I'm gonna go ahead and end the podcast. I like to
Yeah.
thank all y'all. I would like to thank the panel for jumping on again. I'd
Yep.
like to thank all of y'all for listening to hear us talk our shit again. This is You Know What? Let me just say podcast, and we signing out. Peace.